Hey, it's Dennis Hill from Connecticut Krav Maga Mixed Martial Arts. And one of the questions we get often asked is, what's the difference or why do you do gi Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu versus no gi Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu? And some people like one over the other. And some people will make an argument and say, well, one's more practical than the other. So here's my take on it. If you're training with the gi, you are basically simulating clothing so that we know we're in the Northeast, so that sometimes it's colder out and you wear windbreakers or jackets. And the gi basically just represents that. So if you're doing it for like self-defense, you see that it's just simulating heavier clothing, jackets or windbreakers, etc. And that is very practical. So if you are learning to defend yourself and someone has a jacket on, and how to grip it, how to manipulate it is definitely something that has value to it. Now, no gi is where you generally will wear like a t-shirt or shorts, or you'll wear rash guards, and you're not really looking to grab the material itself. The clothing that you're wearing represents when it's warmer out, where somebody doesn't have clothing to really hold on to, and you're learning how to grab the handles of the body. You're learning how to do tricep ties and bicep ties and wrist ties and head ties. So it also is practical. If somebody in the summertime around here, people are walking around with jackets or coats, they're wearing appropriate attire for the weather. And for self-defense, to learn how to grab their wrists, biceps, head ties, all the handles of the body is going to be important, because if you're just doing gi, you're probably not going to know where those handles are, and vice versa. So for instance, like people who do judo, I come from a judo background, and if you're always wearing your gi and all of a sudden someone takes the gi off, it's going to take time to learn how to use handles of the body. It's going to feel weird at first, and vice versa. Wrestlers, if they throw on a gi and someone's grabbing their gi and using that against them, it's going to take time for them to understand the gripping strategies. So in a nutshell, to me and to many people, doing both is definitely the way to go. Although you might prefer one or the other, I think both have value. And based on what I had mentioned to you, that's the value in them, what people are wearing and how to grip. So even though you might prefer one over the other, I encourage you to try both. And if you're doing jiu-jitsu from a traditional perspective, you definitely want to do the gi, because that's all part of the history of the art. So any comments, comment below. Thanks so much.